Hey everyone, it's Lee Henkin here today. So this video is going to be all about using AI, but specifically ChatGPT to find good lead magnets for cold outreach. Okay, so doesn't matter whether it's cold email, LinkedIn, whatever channel you're using for your cold outreach. This is going to be applicable, this entire principle and concept. So um, lead magnets themselves are really one of the most effective ways to get positive responses from cold outreach. Okay. I've been using, in the last, God, what is it, few years or so that I've been running outbound lead gen campaigns. I've used lead magnets on various occasions, okay, just as a strategic approach. It always works really well, okay. So for those, just before we dive even deeper into it, for those who are unfamiliar with it, the whole idea is that, like, generally most people are reaching out offering like a call or some piece of info, slide deck, stuff like that. So the idea with the lead magnet is you're reaching out with something that's valuable to the prospect, okay, in order to elicit positive responses. So it's really good, especially in like competitive, saturated like markets. So if you're selling stuff like SEO, Facebook ads, Google ads, stuff that's like super competitive, the whole idea of a lead magnet or that approach is really useful. Okay, just because a lot of people just don't do it, and even in those markets where maybe you're selling something that's a bit more novel, still it's like an amazing way to get an even higher positive response rate than what you would just by asking for a call, for example. So yes, really useful kind of in a lot of different applications. All right. So stands out, educates prospects in depending on what you're offering, and kind of just nurtures them more at a sales kind of awareness level. It's a really good way to do it. And just as an example now, I'm helping a client now, SEO company. And SEO, as you know, I'm sure all of you watching, listening to this know is super competitive. A lead magnet I'm finding, I'm not going to go into the details because it's obviously for a paying client, but it's working really well to stand out. And it's also for SaaS companies, so which is also a super saturated market. So you combine SEO, which is super competitive, with SaaS, which is a very heavily targeted market. But yeah, I'm still finding that the lead magnet approach is working pretty well. So that's kind of the short background to that, what a lead magnet is and why it works. Um, so what is a good lead magnet? So obviously that's really the key. There's a couple key things to keep in mind with this for this strategy to work well. So a lead magnet, obviously, it needs to be perceived as valuable. So it's not perceived as valuable. If you think it's valuable, but they don't perceive it as valuable, basically it's not going to work. So really there's two things I would look at to determine if something's if they're going to perceive it as valuable. And again, this just comes down to marketing principles, marketing lead gen principles. So those things are that the lead magnet itself is based around like a major pain or challenge they have, and that the thing that you offer them gives them insights or solutions into overcoming that pain or challenge. That's pretty much it. Okay, so in terms of being able to create something that you know they will perceive as valuable, not you will perceive as valuable, that they will really come down to how immersed you are into the world of your ideal client. So, that's really going to be easier the more the deeper you are in that world of your ideal client. So, the deeper you are in that world, the easier it's going to be for you to understand what they struggle with, challenges, that kind of thing, their goals, objectives. And then you can kind of use that as the basis to create some valuable piece of content or information for them, which would form what your lead magnet is. So that's kind of what a good lead magnet is and how kind of the understanding behind that. So the kinds of things you can offer as a lead magnet is where a lot of people struggle. And this is where the AI part of this is really useful, Chat GPT specifically. Okay, so that'll help you come up with the actual tangible things you can offer. So this is what I do, and I'm actually going to go through a couple more recent example. So obviously I've got Chat GPT here open. So you can basically see here, this was, I don't know when this was, I think it was last week. So basically give you the background to a client. I mean, I'm not going to read all that out. You can see it on the screen, but that's the client. That's kind of what they offer: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and they do some other stuff as well, but kind of on social, they're the main things. So yeah, you can see from this that I've highlighted here, a couple things to point out with ChatGPT. You want to be specific and provide as much detailed info as possible with your question prompt, basically because if you don't do that, you're not going to get a very good answer from ChatGPT. So the more specific and detailed you are, the better the answer is going to be. So as you can see, I probably could have made this more detailed, to be honest, but it's sufficient, what I'm looking to do. But you can see it's fairly detailed in explaining who I am, or basically who the client is that I'm representing, and what we're trying to do. And you can see here, this is basically what we're trying to do. I don't know if we just highlight that and not the whole thing. Yeah. Um, yeah, we want some ideas on lead magnets for, yeah, increasing brand awareness and sales in online and retail. Okay. And lead magnets around that. So what ChatGPT then has done, as you can see, is it's spit back all of this stuff here. There's like, what is it? 8 basically ideas. And I mean, these are all pretty good in my opinion. But what you can do is that you can get like more specific based on what ChatGPT tells you. So to give you an example, they've spat back to me these 8 ideas for lead magnets, and then I've just wrote back, yeah, can you expand on the idea of using an assessment for increasing sales online and in retail, which was basically number 6 here, as you can see, interactive quizzes or assessments. And then again, ChatGPT has, yeah, expanded on that idea. So it's basically then giving me a whole list of points as to what an assessment would entail and what you could include in it, as you can see here. So again, this is just giving you ideas on specific tangible lead magnets and then what you could include in that specific tangible lead magnet. Okay, so this is specifically for the assessment. And then I think I asked another question. Yeah, so I even expanded on this further. I know that this particular client, their clients have had a lot of success with TikTok. So basically you can see here, then I asked another question, as you can see, related to TikTok and any lead magnets around that. And then again, it's basically spat back to me a whole bunch of different lead magnets related to using TikTok to drive online sales and retail sales. So yeah, and then basically from there, again, I could ask another question. It's like, can you expand upon, I don't know, which one would be good? I like this actual TikTok content ideas because probably for this client, they target a lot of marketing directors and stuff like that, and they probably do struggle with content ideas. So, as an example, I'd be like, can you expand upon the idea of TikTok content ideas and what that should entail? Let me just double check. Yeah. So, this is basically what you do. So, then, um, yeah, it'll basically spit back a bunch of info for me that I could then use in a specific TikTok lead magnet. Okay, network error, that's useful while I'm on a video. But as you get the point, so obviously I'll try and regenerate it, but I'm not sure. It might be something with the internet or something. Okay, here we go. So this is probably a lot of this is not really like recipe videos wouldn't work. Sneak peeks, maybe stuff like this would work though. So again, you could basically then write another question to expand upon user-generated content challenges. That actually might work for my clients, to be honest, um, or even this educational content. So you just kind of go through it and look what makes sense. I mean, you obviously got to know who you're working with, who their target audience is, and stuff like that. But obviously, that's how you do it. So I've just given you kind of a quick run through of how to do it. This is the easiest way to come up with tangible ideas, though, for lead magnets by far. It's so much faster than the old ways where you'd have to speak with, 50 people or do surveys, go on Facebook groups and all that kind of shit. This is way easier. So that's pretty much it, really. So hopefully, I'm sure that all makes sense just now you've seen this example here on ChatGPT. So definitely recommend using that to come up with lead magnet ideas. And then basically in your cold outreach, you'd essentially reach out offering whatever the lead magnet is. And yeah, and as I've said, I've found this approach to work really well, especially in competitive markets and for competitive services. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was valuable to you all. If you got any questions, comments, do drop them below. If you liked this video, you want to see more, do subscribe to the channel, clicking the subscribe button wherever it is on the screen. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video.